President Biden issues this crypto executive order. There are a number of ports that are coming due. What do you want to see from the administration when it comes to regulation? And are you optimistic that we will get there?
Yeah, we were so delighted to see that executive order. It's not something you should normally be delighted about, but why we were is because it was, to us, a real recognition that this is the U.S. government saying this field isn't going anywhere. This field is growing, and it's growing so much that we are going to direct every single agency in the federal government to come up with a plan here. I think, we take a step forward, but then you see, we're a big government, we're a big system. We have states, we have local entities. So we take a step forward with the EO, and then we take some steps back sometimes too. And I think what I see is crypto founders are confused by that. They're starting to think, well, I could go to this jurisdiction where there's a single regulator. And you don't have 50 states with different rules. It's the US government that needs to start taking stock of the fact that right now, Emily, in China, there's 250 million eCNY wallets. 250 million. We're still talking about whether there should be a government central bank digital currency. We're still studying that.
So you think we're going to fall behind? The United States
I think we already are falling behind.
Fall behind China.
I think we're falling behind.
What are the dangers of falling behind China? And the rest of the world?
This is years ahead, so I don't want people to take a headline and say, oh, I think the US dollar will be, no longer the global currency, reserve global currency. I'm not saying that now, but fast forward decades, and if you no longer need to use the dollar because you have an alternative, I think that's a real problem.
What would we use instead?
Well, I think that there are going to be stable coins out there that people who have access to a smartphone will use. There is a demand for it. We see a 285% year-over-year growth with stablecoins. So people are clearly liking the idea of this. Now, again, there have been some spectacular failures too, but not all stablecoins are created the same. But I think the important thing is that we really do need to not just quash innovation.
What do you think of how Gary Gensler, the chair of the SEC, and how he's approaching it?
One of the things that I hear from founders is that they're very confused because they get told, come in, register, just come in and talk to us. But you have the one company who's done the ultimate act of going in and registering. Coinbase filed an S1. And still, there's a lot of saber rattling still going on, I think. And again, I don't want to single out the SEC, and I don't want to suggest that anything they're doing is bad. I do think, though, that right now there's a lot of confusion. And one of the pieces of confusion stems from the fact that, and it started with the ICO mania back in, 2016, 2017, I can't even remember which year now, where the SEC was very loud about securities. A lot of them were securities, but the space has changed. And so to still view it through the ICO lens when so much has happened over the last 5 years in the space, I think is a mistake.
What do you have to say to the skeptics out there who just don't believe in the future of Web3 and don't see where this is going?
Yeah. I would say don't judge the current state of innovation by the end state of innovation. I hear from a lot of these skeptics, and by the way, I'm friends with a lot of these skeptics too. I don't only want to live in a crypto bubble. They want to see the use cases, especially if they're not technical. Well, when am I going to use it? What will I use it for? And I think one of the things that's not appreciated is how quickly the infrastructure here is catching up. And once you have once you have really scalable blockchains that can handle a lot of throughput and are very efficient, I think that unlocks a whole lot of use cases.